Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Mission of Hope 2020 live stream event. Glad you're here. You can be part of this with us this evening. My name is Steve Brecki, and on behalf of the Northland Rescue Mission and the Mission Board of Directors, which I am part on, welcome to this evening. We have a great evening planned for you tonight. But before we begin, I'd just like to thank all of you for being part of our virtual event this evening and our sponsors who are making this event happen. It's been a trying time for us all with the things that are happening in our nation today and around the world, but we feel that this event is very, very important to take care of the clients that we serve here at the Northland Rescue Mission. And in you participating and being part of this also makes this a very important evening, because without your support, we could not do what we do at the Northland Rescue Mission. So thank you. Like I said, we have a great evening planned. We have a virtual tour of the mission. For those of you who have not had the opportunity to come through the mission and see this place, I think you'll really, really enjoy this tour. I know when I had the first chance that I came through and had the opportunity to tour the mission, I was surprised and didn't realize all the things that the mission did. And I think you will too enjoy that tour. Plus, we have some great speakers this evening that are going to give you a lot of information, not only about the mission, but about some of their life experiences and what the mission has meant to them. And those of you that know me, our main speaker this evening, Hunter Pinke, is a great individual, but you know what? I'm very seldom left speechless. He will leave you speechless this evening. I can promise you that. Now, before we begin, I'd like to call on Pastor Kirk, who is not only a board member, but is also the pastor at Calvary Lutheran Church, and he will do the invocation for us. Pastor Kirk, please come up.
Thank you, Steve. I am delighted to be one of the many voices of this great event this day. And my voice specifically is about what it means to invoke God's presence in this place. And I'm always reminded, of course, of Matthew 25, where we hear Jesus telling his disciples in a beautiful parable about wherever you see someone who is hungry or homeless or naked or in prison or thirsty, whenever you serve them, you serve Christ himself, which reminds us that whenever you want to think about the Northland mission, we always need to see that people that we serve together, we're actually looking at the face of God with those who look to us to be brothers and sisters who need support. And so I think it's one of the mainstays of our whole life as we do, in fact, invoke God's presence in this great event, to be reminded in a very powerful and humble way that the people that we serve, we receive so much more, because it's what we are all about as human beings, especially in this COVID pandemic moment when we're all experiencing some kind of separateness. I want to remind us that it's a great gift to be humbled and to identify with people whose lives for maybe a long time, maybe not, are marked with all sorts of aloneness. And so when you're taking in all of these voices, be reminded, please be reminded, that God's Spirit is in, with, and under all these voices in Jesus' name. Let's pray. Gracious God, thank you for moments like this, when we hear voices and we're actually invited to act on the very things that you know make us your own every day. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Kirk. Thanks. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. My name is Sue Shurik, and I'm the Executive Director of Northland's Rescue Mission, and I too would like to welcome you and thank you for being here with us tonight. This is kind of a unique experience for us because it's allowed us to bring in people from all across the country. We are extending a very warm welcome tonight to those people who have stood by us for years, who have been donors of time, talent, or treasure throughout the years. welcome. We would like to welcome the Trankina family, which is the family of our founder, who back in 1942 listened to what God was telling him and brought his whole family up to North Dakota and started serving those who were in need. So welcome from as far away as Alpharetta, Georgia, and North Carolina. Thank you for being here with us tonight. We'd like to welcome the UND football family from many years back, from many places across the country, who have joined us tonight to hear Hunter Pinke speak and to be a support network for him. They are a family, and we're glad to have that family here with us tonight. And specifically to Hunter Pinke and his family. To his parents, you have to be proud of your children when you see what has blossomed in them, and he's an incredible young man. And Hunter, we are so thankful for your time that you have given to us and for the message you have shared with us. We want to welcome the people who have never been a part of our events before and who saw this on Facebook, who have heard about it from family or friends, and who just are curious about what we do. We welcome you and we hope you enjoy this evening. This is also kind of cool, but I want to extend a welcome to our clients and our staff. The cameras are on back at the Mission, and tonight our clients had a fabulous dinner. And tonight they are watching and participating in this event with us. And so I just want you guys back at the Mission to know this is about celebrating the hard work that you guys have done on your lives. And this is about helping other people who are experiencing some of the same stuff that you've experienced and helping them to get to a better place. So on behalf of the clients and the staff, we want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to God for putting us in this position. We are so privileged to be working where we work, and it is a great joy to be serving the people that we serve day in and day out. So we're thankful to God for giving us this opportunity and for allowing this place to continue to serve people since 1942. How incredible is that? I want to thank our board who has pushed and encouraged and supported and guided so that we can get to the place that we are today and so that we can serve in the way that we're serving. And we're very thankful to each and every one of them. To my staff, incredible thank you. When the pandemic started, the Mission didn't close. Matter of fact, we haven't closed for 1 minute since the pandemic started. We've actually expanded the services that we've started doing for the community to try and reach and serve more people in more ways. And on any given normal year, we have over 1,000 people who volunteer their time, talent, and treasures to come to the Mission and help. This year, because of the pandemic, no volunteers. But my staff has stepped up and stepped in and gone above and beyond and worked so hard. And this event is a new event for us, and they have worked so hard to put together a fantastic silent auction, to put together a fantastic program, to feed enormous, incredible amounts of people. Our food box distribution is up 77% from last year. And that's our staff that has worked so hard to make that happen, to help keep clients safe, and to help clients move from being homeless to being housed, because that's what we do. So to my staff, thank you for all that you have done for our clients. I want to thank our donors because in spite of all of the pandemic, they've kept supporting us. You guys haven't let us fall or fail, and we're so thankful for all of you. To the volunteers who want to come back and we just keep having to say wait, and to those of you who we've had limited opportunities for you to come back, thank you. To the media, who has allowed us the opportunity to share our voice and share our story. Having time on KNOX or on QFM to share the work that we do and the stories that are out in the other media formats where we get to tell our story. That's important, and we're thankful for you. We're thankful for the staff at HB Sound and Life and for the opportunity to get this program out to you, and they have done a super great job, and so we're very thankful to them. And to our sponsors, to our silent auction donors, and to those of you who have been bidding and buying, thank you. And to our clients who have put in a lot of hard work on their lives, thank you to you too. So this evening, it's about honoring the past. This evening will be about celebrating the work that our clients, our staff, our volunteers, other partner agencies have all done to help those clients find a better way in life. And this event will also be about engaging others, inviting the rest of you to come along and join with us as we walk with our clients on their journey to help make change happen for the people who come into our facility. So for those of you who are joining us for the first time, Northland's Rescue Mission is a homeless shelter for men and women located in downtown Grand Forks. We have the capacity to serve about 150 people in-house, but we currently are serving somewhere in the 20s. The reason that is happening because we work very hard with clients from the minute they come in the door to say, you don't have to be homeless. What community do you want to live in? What job skills are you bringing to the table for yourself? What soft skills do you have that might help you find a job? And what resources do you already have? And whatever you don't have to help you get to that point, let's start working on it. We work in a very short time frame with these clients to have them set goals, achieve those goals, and move out not just into housing, but into housing that's dignified, housing that's affordable, and housing that's stable because we want them to stay housed and to be successful. But beyond that, we have provided motel space for homeless families. We have a soup kitchen where we serve about 55,000 meals a year. We have a food pantry where we have done this year about 2,300 food boxes, and we have a mobile food pantry that we're taking out not just to areas in Grand Forks, but into a 4-county region to other communities, because we found that sometimes people can't get to a food pantry. And sometimes there aren't food options in smaller communities. And sometimes even if you can get to a food pantry and you get this big box of food, you can't carry it home. It's too heavy. And you end up leaving behind all the important, valuable stuff like meat that's too heavy to carry. So we're taking the food pantry on the road. We also do the backpack program for kids. And in this last 2019-2020 school year, every weekend during the school year, we sent meals home for 743 kids. 743. Pretty amazing. That's the work that we do at the mission. In the pandemic, we changed so that we couldn't have people coming in to eat in our dining room from the community. We now serve up to 120 takeout meals a day for people in the community to eat. We are working hard to get people housed. And over the last year, 302 people went from being homeless to housed. And there are more sitting at the mission right now who are waiting. Some of them within the next week or two are moving out and moving on. The average stay is only 30 days. People are getting housed. And what we're doing works. So, we're going to give you a chance to get a tour of the mission in a few minutes. But it's important to know where the mission started so we can show you now where it's at now, and then we can talk about building a future together. So we're going to take a few minutes to honor Nina Trankina Lacey, who is the daughter of our founder, Reverend Trankina. And Nina passed away this last Christmas Eve. And her husband, Herb, has put together some words for us about what he remembers from the early days of the mission, and we'd like to share those with you now.
Well, in 1935, Reverend Trankina took his family and 4 children from Chicago and went to Candu, North Dakota, to minister mainly to Indians, but also to non-Indians around that area. And they were there until 1941. And then he was led to go into Grand Forks and set up a mission and a service center. And he worked on that as the founder and director of the mission until his passing in 1967. And of course, all that time they were providing food and medical supplies, meeting medical needs, and bedding for the night, especially cold nights. You know, they can get down to -40. And then along with the presentation of the gospel. So he routinely worked at the mission 16 and 18 hours a day. I couldn't do it, but he lost his wife in 53 and or 52, I think. He didn't really have any family other than Nina, and the 3 boys had all moved and gone away from Grand Forks. Several things about the mission. They'd serve breakfast to the people that stayed there overnight, and at noontime was a meal with some member of the community coming in to present a gospel message to them, and then they would have a meal. And then, of course, an evening meal, again, with a presentation of the gospel. So, and then, of course, 6 days a week, they had the store where people would donate clothes and furniture and beds and whatever they would donate, the mission would sell. Christmas always was Christmas tree sales. I helped out with that in 1960 and 61. And the number of people that would tell me, but they would tell us this was the only place they would buy a Christmas tree every year. They just go to the mission of time to get a Christmas tree, and that was a good source of revenue for the mission. Now it was along Demers there, right at the corner where the mission was. There were just Christmas trees all around. They had the radio broadcast, which they did from the mission auditorium and every Sunday from 9:30 to 10:15. And then, of course, Reverend Trankina would preach in various churches around Grand Forks and even over East Grand Forks. He preached around in a lot of places. But anyway, this is about the Northlands mission, which has filled the spot very nicely, I think. And I think that's a guideline for Northland's mission and all rescue missions that are in serving today, that they're there to serve, not to be served. And I hope the people of Grand Forks will support it and hold it high.
Thank you, Herb. Herb and I have had the opportunity to visit over Zoom and over the phone, and his loss is still very tender on his heart. So, Herb, I thank you for sharing what you shared with us, and for sharing about what Nina's life was like. What the rest of you should know is that when Reverend Trankina came here, he and his family, they did everything for clients, everything from nursing services, because Nina was a nurse, so she helped out that way, to every service you could imagine. They worked as a family to offer their clients. So now these days, well, my family pitches in, but we don't have those talents and abilities. But we do have some phenomenal work that our staff does. And so I'd like to take you through a tour of the mission as it is today. So please join me now in a tour of the modern day Northlands Rescue Mission. So a big part of behind the scenes at the mission involves food. It's part of what we do every day to serve our clients, but it's also part of how we serve the general public as well. So we are part of what is called Retail Rescue. And we are a partner organization with Great Plains Food Bank in Fargo. And as a partner agency with them, we receive food from all different sorts of local retailers, like Sam's Club and Walmart and Hugo's. And we go out and pick up groceries from them that are nearing their expiration date, that they don't want to throw away, but that still have life left to them. We pick those items up, and then they either go into food baskets, or we prepare the food and we serve it here in our meals. For example, this is our fresh fruits and vegetable produce cooler, and you'll see it's full of all kinds of produce, and not just what we get from places like the retailers, but there's a box of apples that somebody picked out of their yard and donated that we haven't had the opportunity yet to put to use. And we have some food baskets half prepped and ready to go in here. And every day you would be amazed at the amount of food that comes and goes from out of the mission. So we don't just serve the clients that are staying here with us. We provide food baskets to members of the community who are in need, and actually members of the region. So we decided to go out and meet people where they were at. And once a month, we do a mobile pop-up food pantry somewhere in the community, so that we are getting food resources out to people where they're at and trying to meet the need in our community. One of the things the mission does is we do the backpack program for kids. In this room, volunteers come in and they will put together backpack bags. So in a bag like this, you put 10 items: 2 snacks, 2 fruits, 2 juices, 2 oatmeals, and 2 main meals like a ramen noodle. Those 10 items in a bag then go into a tote, and we pack 18 bags per tote. The totes get loaded up on dollies. These dollies go out on Thursdays, or whatever the last day of school is for the week. And on Friday, the school social workers or a designated school staff member hand the bags out to the kids who have signed up for the program. We currently serve about 750 kids in this program through 6 elementary schools in town. There are a total of 2,900 kids in our school district who would be eligible for this program if we could serve them all. All right, so this is our kitchen. Meals are served out of this kitchen 365 days a year. Doesn't matter if it's Christmas, it doesn't matter if it's Thanksgiving. We provide meals every day, not only for our clients who are here, but for people in the community who might need food. So anybody who is in need of a meal can come and get a meal anytime. So it used to be that our clients and people in the community could come in through the dining room. Now, however, thanks to COVID, we are doing takeout meals for anyone in the community who's in need of a meal. All you have to do is call if you can and let us know you're coming, and we will have meals available for you at noon and at 5. Our goal is to provide good, healthy food for people, because if your stomach is full, you're not dealing then with meeting your basic needs, but you're able to move on to higher needs and worry about getting a job instead of filling your stomach. And so we want people to feel good, to feel full, to be healthy, and to be able to move on to that next goal in their life. This is our dining room. And clients eat their meals in here. After meals are done, clients have jobs of cleaning up, wiping down tables, putting away chairs, sweeping or mopping the floor. And it's our goal to make sure that everybody has a safe and healthy place to eat, that they're eating good food, and then after meals are over, that they get a chance to relax and watch a little bit of TV in the evenings if they like, just like you and I would do. So Northland's Rescue Mission has 2 social workers. We have one who works with our families and another who works with our individual adults. And Anita Adams is our social worker who heads up this department. It's our advocacy department. And her goal is to help our clients find stability to get out of homelessness as rapidly as possible and to become not only housed, but stably housed. So Anita, can you share with us how all that works?
We do person-centered services, which means that everybody who comes here is thought of as a unique individual with a unique set of circumstances in their lives, which has led them to an outcome of homelessness, whether it's a momentary type of homelessness or they are a chronic, long-term situation that they find themselves involved in. So part of my job is to sit down with folks and find out what they want for their lives. The second thing is we do trauma-informed services, which means we understand that the very nature of homelessness has created a level of trauma or injury to this person. And it can be spiritually in their soul, it can be their mental health, it can be their physical health, it can be their social circle. But the very fact that they're homeless or been fallen into homelessness means there's injury and trauma that we must address. It might take steps. And that's the joy in this job, to look at people who are unique, find the way they are, add the resources, and let them make something happen in their lives. I don't do it, they do it.
We have numbers that speak to that success. Do you want to share what those are? Because this is really where your work, where you can see it come to fruition.
The year before I started in 2016, we had 12 people went to housing in a whole year. Since then, our numbers have gone up increasingly, and we're at 60% of our people right now are housed.
We went from housing about 12 people a year
12 people a year.
to housing over 200 people a year since we started.
Last year,
Yeah, 250 last year.
in 2019.
So those are significant numbers. So this is our computer lab. It's called the Kickstart Lab. And the cool thing about this room that makes me smile every time I come in here, first of all, is the color on the wall, but second of all, this was done by a donor who really wanted to do something to honor his late wife. And his name is Oli. And Oli is a great supporter of a lot of things in our region, a lot of different organizations and entities that help people. And one day Oli said, I want to do something to honor my wife's memory, and here's how much I'd like to give to you, and what can you do with this? So as a result of that, we have this beautiful computer lab. We currently have 5 laptops and a printer, and thanks to his donation, everything from the paint to the flooring came to fruition. And what this room does is it allows for our clients to come in and apply for jobs, to apply for housing, and if they need help with that, we have staff on hand who are able to help them out with that. Sometimes we have volunteers during the non-COVID times who can come in and monitor the computer lab and make sure that if people need to get on and have struggles with filling out an application, that our staff or our volunteers are able to help them. And then we have a plaque up here that is in memory of Francis. And Oli, we're very thankful every day that this place exists. And it shows what one person can do. And it shows how someone's memory can live on long after they're gone. And it's just a beautiful act of kindness. This is our front office. This is manned 24/7, 365 days a year. These people are kind of the gatekeeper for people coming into the mission, people going out of the mission. So they monitor the safety and security of the building via a camera system. They allow entry up onto the dorm floors via contact through a phone that allows them to unlock the door from here. But this is operated 24/7. This is a room on the women's floor. This is what most of our rooms look like. They are set up for 3 to 4 people, and clients get a bunk. They get a foot locker to put their belongings in. They'll get toiletries, but the rooms are pretty simple. We want people to feel safe while they're here. We want them to be in a place that's clean and comfortable, but we don't want them to feel like this is home, because we want them to focus on where their future is. So welcome to Rescued Treasures. Rescued Treasures is an on-site thrift store for our clients so that they can get clothing, toiletries, items that they're going to need while they're with us. It's all free of charge. It comes from public donations of stuff. And we also have items that our clients can get for when they're moving out into their own homes to set up their home. So our social workers and I found out when we worked in a different facility that we were picking one of our quilts, and we were sending these beautiful brand new quilts out with our clients as they were moving out into their own homes. And we would pick one that was in their color scheme, that looked like it matched them. And we'd say, here you go, here's a quilt, enjoy your new home, we're so happy for you. And what we found out from clients or from other people who knew them was that that was all our clients had, was that quilt and their little bag of stuff that they had while they were staying here. And they didn't have all the things that you need to fill an apartment, to make it a home, to eat on, to cook with, to fill your bathroom with even. So this room is full of all the resources that get donated that will help a client fill their apartment. All those things to help make a client feel at home in their new home. This is a place where you can figure out what direction you want to take, but this isn't your final stop. This is a place to get your feet back under you, to catch your breath, and then to figure out what direction you want to take. Well, thank you for joining me on the tour. I hope you enjoyed it, but what you might have found out is there's nothing really magical about the building. It's a building. But it's the work that goes on in that building, in that space. It's the relationship building and everything that goes along with that. It's the hard work of our clients, and it's the hope that develops there that really has changed everything for the people that we serve. And I think you've heard enough from me for a while. And it really is important when you hear it from the people who have been with us. And I am so thrilled to have some of those stories to share with you tonight. So please join us as some of our former clients share their stories of their time in the mission.
My name is Michael D., and I'm from Silver Spring, Maryland. When I first came out here, I came out here back in 2011, and landed a job, a nice job with the mission, and something happened and I had to go back on the East Coast. And I just recently came back out here in April. Probably, around April. And the mission had really changed, you know. Now they have social workers, counselors. I now have my own place, which in senior citizen apartments. I'm a senior now, you know. And I still go by the mission. The first thing, when you walk in here, there's a big cross, you know. You'll really feel safe there. It was a good experience. I thought it was gonna be like a homeless shelter. I mean, like, I've seen some homeless shelters. I've never been in one, not until after I came out here, but I don't even call it a homeless shelter, you know. It's a rescue mission. And if you need help, you could go there. You know, that's the good thing about it. And they help you get a place. You know, like I've seen people come there and stay like 2 weeks. And the next thing, yo, Mike, I'm leaving, I got a place. I've seen like a good 12 people come in and leave with a apartment. After I left and got mine, about 10 other people that was at the mission, they now have their own apartment. They got their jobs, you know, like they're really doing nice. If you need to make a start, that'd be the best place, you know. And anything that you need, you can ask them about it. 9 times out of 10, they'll get it for you. If you need clothes, you can go downstairs and get clothes, you know, stuff that you go pop the tag on, you know, new stuff. And they even got furniture there for you. If you leaving, you know, like they'll give you pots and pans, and they'll point you in the right direction to get your furniture. And that's a good jump start, you know. They'll give you a big box of food, you know, whatever, you know, like vegetables, meats, starch. And that's what they done for me. And that was a good jump start, you know. The only thing you got to do is keep progressing. And even if you have to go back, they always will welcome you. And you just have to start over, you know. And each time you start over there, it just gets better and better. Because when I first came out here in 2011, they wasn't offering the clients what they're offering now. If you really want to make a change and you're not afraid of leaving your family behind so that you could like do something better for yourself, this will be the place to come to, you know. One thing that I can say, each day get better and better for me, you know. Yeah.
I'm Jason Gray, and I came to the mission March 28th. I had no idea. I thought it was just a place to live for a couple months and then just kind of dart out. But then the programs they do have here are very, they're great. They have helped me above and beyond my treatment program here. That the mission had loaned me their iPad to do my intensive outpatient treatment here. And towards the end of it, me and my counselor had kind of discussed getting a treatment program here, or me being an advocate to get people here, which is actually helping my recovery to the fullest. It's been benefiting me a lot, actually. And I know I'm doing my job, and it's just something, that's one of my goals, is just to get somebody to come here to go to treatment. It's one of my biggest goals in my life, just so I could help one person, you know. The staff was absolutely great. They've actually noticed things about me that I never noticed, about like how I even talk to the clients that they couldn't even talk to. So it's kind of cool to see the employees actually telling me what I had, which I didn't know I had, you know. I'm in my own apartment. I've been in there for 4 months now. And I can actually say I actually love paying bills, which is kind of weird. When I had my own place, I was usually kicked out within 2 or 3 months, you know, and now my bills are a month ahead of time, which is actually, it's cool to see me growing, you know. And like I said, the mission had a big part to get me on, to even start my scheduling, wake me up at 8 in the morning just to go out and look for jobs. And it's, yeah, it's very, very grateful for this place. I couldn't be at a better place in my life than the mission, and plus I'm not even working here, just so I can talk to the clients and talk to them where I've been and how you can always change, you know, it's never too late. I'm just watching myself grow, which is absolutely awesome, you know, and my family is seeing it too, so. God put me here for a reason, He did.
This is Dave Gray, Jason Gray's dad. I just want a few comments here about Northland's rescue mission. You know, I can't say it enough what Northland has done for Jason. You know, he's made a 360-degree turn since he's been there and working and still working there. You know, I believe at one time he almost lost his family over his problems and issues. If it wasn't for Northlands and his counselor, I believe he would have lost his family and probably his life on the path he was taking. So I just want to say a big thank you to Northlands. I know his attitude on life has changed tremendously. He loves working at the mission and helping others, and his family is very proud of what he's accomplished from where he was at to where he's at now. I mean, we totally thank Northlands a lot for giving him a chance, and it's paid off tremendously for everyone involved. I see why it's called a rescue mission. You definitely rescued Jason. And I personally want to give a big thank you to Northland's rescue mission for helping Jason out and giving him a chance. Really, really appreciate it. You've done a lot. And like I said, I can't say it enough. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Keandra, and this is how the Northland mission helped me. The Northland mission has been a blessing to me. I was new here in town and ran into some tough times. When I called the mission, everyone was very helpful and polite and really cared about my situation. I have gotten very useful and successful resources such as help with hotels, foods, diaper, housing, resource. Well, Bobby has did a lot for me. She's did a lot for me. In the beginning, she helped me sign up for housing and everything I needed to sign up for. She pointed me in the right direction for resources, for everything that I needed being new in town. So Bobby has helped me a lot. Even when I first moved into my place, you know, she gave me that extra push that I needed, going through all the tough times that I was going through. So she really helped me mentally, and she helped me physically. So really, the Northland mission and Bobby has been my support that I needed.
Wow. You know, this is the first time I've seen those whole stories come together, and it's a good thing that I wasn't live on scene, because they really touch my heart very deeply, and I hope they touch yours too. What you may not know is Jason is still with us. He is employed with us. He is sober. He is successful. He has been a connection for people who want to go into some sort of treatment or are working on their sobriety. And he went from maybe bringing one person to a Zoom call on a Wednesday night to last night he said, "Sue, I've got 13 people lined up to come tonight. 13 people who want to sit and have a conversation about staying sober while they're here." Keandra, who you heard, will be the recipient of a donated vehicle that was donated recently by some kind donors, and she is getting her driver's permit in next week, and when she gets her license, we will be donating that vehicle to her so she has transportation for her and her family to get around town. But these aren't the only stories. These are just some of the stories. And doing what we do, we have done it with the support of those of you who have pitched in. And whether it is time, talent, or treasures that you are donating to the mission, we need your help. This event tonight is our biggest fundraiser of the year. You can help us continue to reach more clients, people who just need a little extra support, people who are beautiful people just like the ones you just heard, who have stories of hardships and rough times, but who are getting their life back together and who are successful, who are happy, who are now not homeless people, but just people. Just people. You can help us make a difference. We're calling on you tonight to join us to help make a difference. Now, I know that this is a difficult year for many people. And if you say, you know, I don't know if I can make a big donation. We have people who every month we receive an envelope with $2 in it because that's the best they can do. We're all called to serve. We can serve in different ways. And we ask that as you watch the rest of the program tonight, you maybe say a prayer and ask God for how you can help support the work that we're doing, how you can make a difference. A lot of times we give donations and we think, well, I hope that this is going to do something for somebody. And you've seen the difference it made in these lives. In the lives of Michael and Jason and Keandra, you saw the difference that it made for them. When we see people come in, you see people go from being closed and quiet and kind of just giving you short answers to people who just blossom. We see hope blossom right before our eyes every day. And we're returning people to the community so that they can be successful, tax-paying, contributing members of our community. We're also helping people that are housed and who are working but just can't always make ends meet, put food on their table. You can make a difference. And as you're listening tonight, whether it's $2 or $10,000, whether it's one donation now, whether you make a monthly pledge, however you can choose to help, every donation matters because it is making a difference in the lives of so many. So we want to thank you. We want to ask you to keep that thought in mind as you listen, as you watch the rest of the program. And now we're going to have an auction update from Steve Brecki. And we hope it's some good news on to where the auction is. Steve?
Good evening, once again, everyone. What a great evening we've had so far. I mean, it's been fantastic. Now, I'm just going to give you a little friendly reminder that you have the opportunity, if you would like, to bid on some of the auction items that we have. And as we've heard during the evening, these auction items that you have the opportunity to bid on help support our cause and our mission at the Northland Rescue Mission. So we'd appreciate it very much if you take some time out while you listen to what's been going on this evening, and please bid and help us out. It'd be greatly appreciated. Again, thank you.
Thanks, Steve. So, one of the items that we're talking about today is our bundt cakes. And tonight we have from Nothing Bundt Cakes, as part of our auction, you have the opportunity to purchase either buntlettes or buntinis. And the buntinis are purchased in quantities of 12. And just for your viewing pleasure, we're gonna pop this box open. And you can see, oops, they kind of got discombobulated, but they come like this. It's just a nice morsel, a nice handful, a niblet of dessert in a variety of different flavors. And you can purchase them online as a part of our auction. And tonight we have with us from our staff, Matt Collings, and he's our marketing director, and he's going to fill you in. He's been kind of back behind the scenes, keeping an eye on the auction and on what's going on, and fill us in, Matt.
Yeah, the auction is going great. Thanks to all of you out there who have been putting in your bids since we opened on Tuesday. Last I checked, we were somewhere north of like 1,600 bids that have been put in,
Wow.
which is incredible. So we sincerely hope that you are enjoying the site, that you found a package or 10 that you just absolutely have to have, that you're getting into some friendly bidding wars. I know I've gotten into quite a few myself. So as a reminder, the bidding is going to be open until 10 p.m. tonight. So that gives you still a couple hours here to get your last minute bids in. But we wanted to just kind of feature some of the top auction items at the moment. So we have a bunch of trips out there for you to bid on. There's one to Medora, that one's been really popular. We have a couple fishing trips. We have like a family lake trip. So it's a great time for a vacation. There's still a chance for you to bid on those items and possibly win one of those. Any UND fans out there, this is a great auction to be in because we have a lot of packages with all kinds of UND decor, memorabilia. We have an autographed TJ Oshie jersey. We have this cool neon light up Fighting Sioux clock that a lot of people have been bidding on. So
And a Hunter Pinke package.
And a Hunter Pinke package. And we're getting closer to Hunter speaking, so hang in there with us. Yeah, one of the ones that kind of surprised me that it was in our top 3 items was the Simply Maids cleaning package, but I suppose everyone wants a break from chores, so I can relate to that.
Yes, I think that's one of the highlights of the auction would be to have someone else clean your house for you. Who wouldn't want that? But if you're like me, you clean your house first and then you have somebody come in to clean your house.
Yeah, so, but those are just a few of the 190 about packages we have to bid on, so we're going to go to a short intermission in a few minutes here, so it's a great time to go check on your bids, see where you're at, and again, 10 p.m. is when the auction will close. So.
And we want to thank all the people who donated items from their businesses or from their own personal stash to be a part of the silent auction. We know that it's a difficult time for a lot of businesses now, and to still have them be willing to support and make a donation of an item or items to this event, it means a lot to us. So thank you to all those businesses and individuals who donated items for this silent auction, and to Cindy, Corinne, and Matt who helped get this thing all on this virtual format. It took a lot of work. It was something different. And thank you guys. Thank you to Cindy and Corinne at home. And we're thrilled that you get to sit at home tonight and actually rest and watch this event. They put in a lot of hours, these 3, on putting this together, and so thank you to them. And we encourage you to support the businesses who have donated items, to support the businesses who are sponsors of this event. You've seen that information rolling through at the beginning of the program. You'll see the names of those businesses coming up now and at the end of the night. And we just thank you, those of you who have been a part of those donations. And we ask that the rest of you support those businesses as you can. We are going to be hearing from Hunter shortly. We will be cutting away to give you a few minutes to take a break before the next portion of our program begins, and check your bids on the auction site. So, you get to check them again now, and you get to check them again at the end of the evening. So there's plenty of time between 9 and 10, so you can go back to it then. But we do ask that you pay attention to who the sponsors are. And for your listening enjoyment, the music that's being provided throughout this is from the son of our founder. And he put together several CDs, and it's beautiful music. And we are just thrilled to celebrate the Trankina family in just one more way tonight. So please enjoy the music. Please take a few minutes to get your kids to bed, run to the bathroom, grab some snacks, and join us back shortly. Thank you very much, and we'll see you soon. Welcome back. And once again, what beautiful music from Tony Fontaine, who is the son of our founder, Reverend Trankina. So thank you for joining us again. And now we're going to talk a little bit about the backpack program. The backpack program isn't really all about homeless people, but as you heard about how we are serving food in the community and meeting the needs that are created by food insecurity, one of those programs and things that we do at the mission is called the Backpack Program for Kids. And really and truly, it doesn't involve a backpack. But here's what the Backpack Program is. As you saw during the tour, the Backpack Program is about weekend food for kids. So in the Grand Forks Public Schools, each year, 2,900 kids are currently eligible for this program. Kids who qualify for free and reduced lunch. We are only currently at a capacity for serving 6 elementary schools. That leaves a lot of kids that are going hungry every weekend. We're currently serving only 750 kids, but it's pretty easy to do. So what happens is you take a bag, and in that bag go 2 items, or 10 items, but 2 of each. 2 fruits, and all these items have to be shelf stable, and all of these items have to be nut free. So 2 fruit cups, 2 breakfasts, 2 juices, 2 snacks, and 2 main meals. Now we usually just pack ramen noodles like this, but just like all the food shortages that some of the rest of you are experiencing, you know, like how you can't get chicken gumbo soup sometimes these days, we have food shortages that we're trying to deal with too. So sometimes we have to go with things like the cups of ramen noodles. So these 10 items get packed in a bag. The bags get tied off. They go in the tote. 18 bags go in this tote, and then these totes get delivered to the schools in need. It's pretty easy. Then on Monday, we come back to the schools, we pick up the totes, volunteers come in on Tuesday or Wednesday, they repack the bags, they repack the totes. On Thursday, the totes get delivered back to the school. On Friday, the meals go home with the kids, and we start the cycle all over. And that is the backpack program for kids. So let's hear from one of our local principals and one of our local parents who are participants in the backpack program.
Good evening. My name is Kevin Onstead. I'm the principal at Phoenix Elementary School. I'm here tonight to talk to you about a wonderful program called the Grand Forks Rescue Mission Backpack Food Program. Tonight I want to highlight 3 components of the program with you. First, I want to talk about our kids. Second, I want to talk about the families. And third, I want to talk to you about our staff. Let's highlight the kids first. Our kids look forward to bringing home drinks, snacks, and food over the weekend or over a long holiday break, and they look forward to this backpack food program each and every weekend. Next, I want to talk to you about our families, our parents, and our guardians. Maybe they don't have to spend their entire paycheck on food if we can provide some support for them on the weekend when we provide some food for kids. They have told me many times how much they just look forward to this program, and the kids are also excited about the food every week that we provide. And third, our staff. At Phoenix Elementary, we have a motto of Phoenix Pride and taking care of others. What a great way for our staff to show our students how to take care of others by modeling how to provide some food and to provide wonderful things for them over the weekend. In closing, we are asking for your support. We would ask that you continue to support the Backpack Food Program so that the rescue mission can provide this for maybe even more elementary schools than currently participate in the program. On behalf of all the elementary schools that participate in the Backpack Food Program, we thank you. We are very grateful for the opportunity to partner with the rescue mission and provide this opportunity for our families. Thank you for listening to the comments, and we would look forward to your support.
Hello, I'm a parent at Phoenix, and my kids get the backpack program. They like the fact that they get to bring home food on the weekends. So most of the time it has oatmeal, which they love, and it has like a juice box that they drink right away. so most times it's ramen noodles. There's 2 packs of them. Then there's 2 packs of oatmeal. There's fruit snacks in there usually, and applesauce. And if it's not applesauce, it's usually like fruit in a cup. And then there is a couple of juices like Kool-Aid juices or Capri Suns or something like that. It makes me feel really happy that other kids also get the program and that they can eat, because some people don't even have food through the week, so I bet you they're really happy to get it on the weekend. So the only source of food that they actually have is through the week at school. I know that whatever we don't use out of the backpack program, I'll bring it up to the school, like the applesauces and stuff like that. Sometimes we don't use them all like that, and I'll bring them back up to the school, and they'll give them to the kids for a snack, the ones that don't bring snack up there. I try to, if we can't use it, then I try to give it to somebody else that could use it. That's my logic of it, because otherwise it's just going to waste, and there's no need for it to go to waste. It helps me not have to buy food on the weekends for them. And like, we are not the richest family. We don't have that much money, so it really helps me get like the other things that they need, like for them. It just helps out a whole lot more.
Thank you. We appreciate the partnership we have with the Grand Forks Public Schools, and there are ways you can partner with us to help increase the amount of schools and students we are serving in the backpack program. It's pretty simple. You can donate food product. You can donate funds. Either one works. You can host a drive at your business, through any organization you belong to, through the university, through your church, to do a fund drive to raise, or to either raise money for product or for people to bring product to the drive. If people bring mac and cheese or ramen noodles and fruit cups and juice, and you deliver the hard product, that's great too. So whichever way works for you is great. Or you can be like United Lutheran Church, and they have said, you know what, Phoenix is right across the street from us, and we partner a lot with that school. So what we'd like to do is we have the capacity to adopt that school for a week. So 1 week out of every month for the school year, we will put together the backpack bags. If you drop off the totes and pick the totes back up and bring them to us, we'll fill them. That will be our contribution. We're serving 743 kids. We have 2,900 kids total. It's a struggle for us to say, hey, we're feeding these kids, but the kids at that school aren't getting the food. And we want to be able to feed every kid. We don't want to have to pick and choose that just because kids live in this neighborhood, they get food, and that the kids that are just as in need over here don't. You can go on to our website and make a donation to the backpack program. You can write your check, and in the memo line you can say backpack program. You can go on to the auction site tonight, and when you click to, I think it's donations tab, you can make a specific donation just for the backpack program. You can go to the grocery store and you can buy a whole bunch of ramen noodles and a whole bunch of juice boxes, and you can donate them. Together, we can get kids fed. So today, before we move on to speaking with Hunter and to hearing his message, I've talked a lot about what we've done and what you can do. I want to talk a little bit about what some people have done. This year, in honor and in memory of Nina Tranquina Lacey, who along with her family We're the hands and feet of a lot of good works that happened at the mission. We want to celebrate and recognize some of the people and organizations who throughout the years have been such huge supporters of the work that we're doing. Now, a couple of you, we've made some nudgy phone calls to say, hey, make sure you're watching tonight. Some of you I happen to see on Facebook that you're watching. And a couple I made some direct phone calls to. So this is the first time we've ever made these recognitions. And to those of you who are being recognized tonight, and to all the rest of you who have donated time, talent, and treasure to the mission, thank you very much. So this is the Hope is the Heartbeat of the Soul Awards in memory of Nina Trankina Lacey. You will be getting a certificate thanking you. You don't have to dust certificates. That's a good thing. And you will also be having a donation made in your honor to the mission on Giving Hearts Day as part of our Giving Hearts match. So I'm going to talk about each of these individuals and entities by themselves. They are in no particular order, but I want to share with you who they are, thank them, and tell you what they have contributed to the mission. First one is EERC. EERC every week helps deliver the backpack meals from the mission to the school. When I started at the mission back in 2017, they had done a huge food drive that looked like a grocery store. And after that, they said, you know what, we don't want to quit supporting the mission now. We want to partner with you and adopt the backpack program. And every week, they stop at the mission, pick up our loaded truck, and make sure those meals get to the kids at the schools. So EERC, thank you. Next, Jack and Joey Muse. Jack and Joey Muse have been longtime supporters of the mission, and when Jack tells the story, he talks about walking past the storefront ministry where he saw Reverend Trankina preaching. And he talks about watching that, learning from it, and the impact it placed on his heart. He has followed through with that impact. He has been a loyal donor, both he and his wife Joey, and they have helped establish the Trankina Endowment at the Community Foundation in Grand Forks, East Grand Forks, that helps to ensure the future of the mission. Jack and Joey, you are loyal supporters. You have become wonderful friends. You are great people. We love you very much. I hope you're enjoying retirement. And on behalf of all of us at the mission, thank you. We are supported by a lot of churches and a lot of faith-based organizations, and not just in Grand Forks. The next group I would like to thank is High Plains Ministry and Irene Levang. You guys have gone out of your way to provide meals and assist our clients in innumerable ways through your dollars, through your labor. You come in and take over meals. And anytime Corinne needs something through the volunteer department, you are one of the first organizations that steps up to help. And even though you're located way up in the Edmore area, distance knows no bounds. And so we're glad you can all be with us here tonight, and we thank you. The next group is the Hatton area churches and the community of Hatton. Back during the flood of 1997, our homeless clients became homeless again when the mission had to move. And the community of Hatton welcomed in our homeless clients. They put them up in the community center and they started making soup and cooking meals. And what they found out was they developed great relationships with our clients. And they have continued to support us every year by hosting a big soup and sandwich luncheon with their own silent auction and donating all the proceeds back to the mission. And even though we missed it this year because of COVID, it means my husband is bidding more on stuff at this silent auction, but we are looking forward to joining you next year, and we are so thankful to all of you for what you have done. So when we started working with our clients, trying to get them housed, we said you have 90 days from the time that you come in the door to have a housing plan and to find a place to live and get some resources together, and let's work on your life. Life is passing you by and you need to start working on you. And many people have heard me tell this story before, but it's pretty powerful. We had male and female clients who were moving in together, and a landlord called me one day. I had never met him before, and he said, "Hi, this is Craig Johnson, and I'm supposed to be renting to some of your clients, but I don't have their paperwork and I don't have their deposit money, and I don't know if I want to do this." And I said, "Well, let me gather their paperwork and get their stuff together. And when you are ready to hand them the keys, I will hand you the paperwork, and it should be a seamless transition. And beyond that, when you take in our clients, we want to keep them housed, and we want to keep good relationships with landlords and employers and others in our community who are willing to take a risk on the people we serve. So if you have issues with our clients, give us a call, and our social workers will work with you and with our clients to help keep them stably housed." And he said, if that's the kind of relationship we can have, I have 11 more apartments I'll open up for you. That relationship, all those years ago, 3 years ago, has led to continued people being housed. And it has opened up the doorway for other landlords to say, hey, they took a risk, I'm willing to take a risk too. So to the partnership behind Continental Covenant and Many Rooms LLC, which is Craig Johnson and Mayor Steve Gander from East Grand Forks, thank you for being willing to take a risk on our clients. You have impacted and changed so many lives through your ministry, and we're so thankful. In the video, you saw some ladies with some funny antennas and orange t-shirts. We call them the Tuesday and Wednesday ladies. Every Tuesday and Wednesday, we have a group of people who come in and volunteer their time in the in-house thrift store. Some of them have been doing it every week for over 8 years. So to the Tuesday and Wednesday crew, Kathy Ashe, Diane Altendorf, Linda Cable, Marlis and Rodney Gelberg, and Diane Helgeson, thank you for all that you do to help our clients get new stuff, to make that store a place where they can find things that make them feel like people and not homeless people, things that fit, things that look good. Thank you for your time. For over 10 years, 2 gentlemen have been coming in once a week, except during COVID now, to help serve meals. And so to Mark Anderson and Rick Knutson from Cottonwood Community Church, thank you for your many years of time and service, and for interacting with our clients, engaging them, being positive male role models to the male clients who are in our facility. Next, to the members of Sacred Heart Parish in East Grand Forks, and in particular, Bob and Marge Stalker. Whenever we need people, you guys are always willing to volunteer. Whether it be packing the backpack meals, serving a meal, making stuffing for Thanksgiving, donating the leftovers from your fish fry. You guys have stepped up and gone above and beyond. And Bob and Marge, our sympathies to you in the loss of your brother and a loss of a good friend just very recently as well. Please know how much we're praying for you and how much we love you and how much we thank you. The next one is Marianne Lackson. Marianne Lackson every year comes into the mission, and she has become the person in charge of our Christmas gifts for our clients. She sorts through socks and shirts, and she wraps hundreds of items every year and organizes them. And on Christmas, when it's time for our client Christmas, she comes waltzing in the doorway and says, okay, you line up. Now you line up, and how you doing? And have a Merry Christmas. And we just appreciate your time, your joy, your work, and sitting up in a room by yourself wrapping presents. It's not fun when you have to do it yourself at Christmas, but all that you do for our clients, we love very much. Thank you, Marianne. And finally, to the Grand Forks Board of Realtors. You guys are always up for packing backpack bags. It's a little hard to say. And we thank you. You guys have gone above and beyond to try and get them all packed all in one session. And you have set a high bar. You have been a continued support to the mission, and we thank you for all you do. So on behalf of the staff and the clients at the mission, thank you all for what you have done to be the current hands and feet to pick up where the Trankina family has left off. Thank you all very much. So, it's about the time you've been waiting for to hear Hunter speak. And I'm going to allow Steve Brecki the wonderful honor of introducing our guest speaker, Hunter Pinke. Steve?
Good evening, everyone. This is the opportunity that I have this evening to introduce a fine young man. I had the opportunity to meet Hunter Pinke when he came to the University of North Dakota as a football player. But not only that, I've got a little history with the family. Hunter's grandpa and grandma, Fred and Jane Lukens, I've known for many, many years. And I can tell you that Hunter is just like his grandpa and his grandma, a great individual. And I'm sure you will enjoy hearing Hunter's story. And on behalf of the Northland Rescue Mission, Hunter, thank you very, very much for being part of our evening and speaking to our whole family of people that we have out here this evening. So please welcome Hunter Pinke.
Well, hello, and thank you for being here tonight. My name is Hunter Pinke, and it's an honor for me to be able to speak to you tonight. This is a new one for me. This is my first virtual event, and I think I'm pretty well prepared for it. If you guys know me and my background, my mom had a camera in my face growing up pretty much my entire childhood. It's very well documented. So to be in a recording studio with just a couple people here, this is just like normal for me. I feel at home. But I'm honored to be able to speak to you tonight, and to be asked is just truly really special for me. How this all kind of came down is Wendy Opsahl is on the board here at Northland, and she actually was my COM 101 teacher. Now, for those of you that don't know what COM 101 is, that is your intro to public speaking class that everybody has to take in college. A lot of you probably dreaded that class. For me, it was pretty fun. Wendy was an awesome teacher, but how surreal that she teaches me how to public speak, and now I get to public speak for an organization that she's on the board of. I don't think Wendy went over how to do a virtual event in the middle of a global pandemic. So you might need to add that one to your list of things you teach, Wendy. But I think I'll try and do my best. So when I got asked to speak here, it was last February, and my life looked a lot different than it does right now. And so tonight, I'm gonna share a little bit of my story and then also share a little message that's been on my heart, and hopefully you can take something from it. But the first page of my story is actually the same page that I'm on right now, and it starts here in Grand Forks. I was born at All True. I was a flood baby. I was born in '97, and I grew up my first 6 years here in Grand Forks. That means I was on skates. I was taking lessons at the Hislop, learning how to swim, t-ball. All those things happened here in Grand Forks. When I was going into kindergarten, my mom and we moved down to Fargo, and of course I wanted to keep playing hockey. Everybody in Grand Forks plays hockey, as many people know, and she told me, Hunter, they don't have hockey in Fargo. You're gonna have to play basketball. I said, oh man, they don't have hockey in Fargo. Man, what a terrible town. So I started playing basketball. I gave up the hockey stick in spite of my passion for hockey. It ended up working out for me in the end. But I was there in Fargo for a little bit, and then when I turned 10 years old, I moved to a little tiny town in south central North Dakota called Wishick. And Wishick is where I spent the rest of my childhood. And I had a fantastic childhood. It was what you would call a full Class B experience. For us North Dakota people, we know the Class B experience, but it was a small town experience. I got to do everything. I played sports. I was in extracurricular activities of all kinds. Basketball, football, track and field. I played baseball in the summer, but I also did drama. I was also in FFA, FBLA. You know, it was interesting when I was a senior in high school, I had a news piece done on me. It was during my senior basketball season, and they said, Hunter, what is your most fun accomplishment that you've had in high school? And I assumed that the response they were thinking was something to do with, you know, dunking a basketball or scoring your 1,000th point, scoring a touchdown over your rival. No, mine was going to the International Science Fair in Los Angeles. A kid from Wishick going down to LA, that was pretty cool for me. And so I got to do tons growing up in Wishick, and I'm so appreciative of being able to grow up there and growing up in rural North Dakota. But my favorite activity was always basketball. I could probably thank my mom for that one. Basketball was my passion, and from a young age, I can remember I wanted to be a college basketball player. I really wanted to be like my grandpa Fred. Some of you might know my grandpa, Fred Lukens. He played here at UND in the late 70s, and I like to brag him up a little bit. He was the only academic All-American at the University of North Dakota in the men's basketball program of all time. And that was my goal. I wanted to be just like my grandpa Fred. I wanted to play basketball at UND. And so I remember in 5th grade, I'd go down to the cement courts in Wishick down at the park, the cracked cement with the chain link fences, the nets were chain, excuse me. And I would just shoot. My goal was 10,000 baskets this summer going into my 6th grade year. And then that summer, I worked at our family lumberyard, Pinke Lumber, and I saved up for a hoop because I didn't want to have to go to the park all the time. So I finally got my hoop at my house. I remember I'd just keep shooting and keep shooting and keep shooting. And in 7th grade, I started doing the 6 a.m. call. Going into the school and lifting weights, getting more shots up. Always with this goal to play college basketball. And I was gonna do it with my best friend, Zach Kavalvag. Now, when I talk about Zach, I speak to youth groups and schools around the region, and I say we were a Stockton and Malone combination, and I get a lot of blank stares a lot of the time. People don't know who John Stockton and Karl Malone were. I hope you do. But that's what we were. We were a point guard and a post. We were best friends. And how this came to be was he lived in Fargo. We got to know each other. And he wrote me a letter going into my 6th grade year and said, wouldn't want to be on my traveling basketball team? So me and Zach, we played travel basketball all the way through. And we were going to go play college basketball together. Going into my senior year, I was the number 2 rated player in the state of North Dakota. I was getting recruited by all the schools I wanted to, all the I-29 schools, UND, NDSU, South Dakota schools. I was on track with my plan. My goal was almost obtained. And on a beautiful day in the summer of 2015, my life took a turn. Zach Kavalvog, my point guard, my best friend, passed away in a car accident with his younger brother on a sunny day. A semi ran him off the road, and in that moment, my life flipped. I didn't touch a basketball for 3 months. I was so close to my goal, and I didn't touch a ball for 3 months. I just needed to separate myself from the game. 1 week after Zach passes away, I get an offer from my dream school, the school that my grandpa played at, the school that my mom was on the track team at. I get an offer from UND. But it's not to play basketball, it's to play football. And Coach Schwagert gives me an opportunity to join the football program. And I took it. It was my escape from basketball, and it was an opportunity for something new. And so I took it and ran with it and became a Division I football player. You know, I always felt like UND was kind of where I was meant to be, but I never thought it would be on the gridiron. I had 4 good years at UND, 4 great years. We won a conference championship, made the FCS playoffs multiple times. You know, I always joke, I was a tight end on the team, and I was a role player. I played special teams. I caught a few passes, caught 1 touchdown in my career. Thank you for that 1 touchdown, Keaton Studsrud. But I'll probably get better as years go by. You know, right now I was a role player, but 5 years from now, you know, I was a really good player. 20 years from now, I'll probably be, you know, one of the better tight ends to ever play in UND. And by the time I'm 70, I always joke I'll probably be an All-American. So I had an awesome career at UND. I had so much fun. But the thing that UND really did for me most was introduce me to people that would change my life. And I think that's probably with anything in life. The people are what matters. You know, Ev Nelson was one of these people that took me under his wing with Fellowship of Christian Athletes. My freshman year, I had a rough go-around, and he took me under his wing and said, hey, don't worry about your past. I see potential in you, potential to lead. And my faith became my own through FCA. I think of Sean Kosich, my position coach. A lot of memories with Coach Kosich. Not all of them are good, but the way that man molded me into who I am today, I'm forever grateful. And the amount of respect that I have for him is through the roof. I think of Jeremy Morris, one of my pastors here at Gospel Outreach, that helped start a college-age ministry with me. It started with, I think, 5 or 6 of us, and is now over 70 people. All these people that have come into my life and have grabbed onto me. It's pretty special, this place, this community. I think of my best friends I met here at UND, my teammates. One of them being my guy, Noah Wanzik. Now, if you're a UND football fan, you know that name. The third leading receiver in UND history. The kid from Jamestown that I called my senior year of high school, and we decided we're going to go to UND. 2 North Dakota kids getting to play for our flagship university. Noah Wanzik, we were on the same dorm floor freshman year. We were roommates and still are roommates. And we became best friends. And so when he asked me to go to Colorado on a ski trip to celebrate his graduation and his final football season, it was an automatic yes for me. I love to ski. We'd gone previously to Big Sky, and so when he said Colorado, I said, new place, why not? That should be fun. So Christmas of 2019, that night, I drive to Jamestown, we fly out the next morning, and we go to Colorado. We're gonna ski at Keystone, Colorado. It was a beautiful day for skiing. Wanzik and I get up to the mountain. We're one of the first ones up on the gondola, and 10 seconds in to skiing, I'm feeling good, y'all. Really good. Like, you know, you kind of get your feet underneath you, and then it's like, all right, I'm back. I think I got my mojo back. And I'm skiing backwards, in and out of cuts. And about halfway down our first run, I see this little chute through the trees. And immediately I gotta hit that chute. You know, I love to ski in the trees. That's why I ski. Fresh powder, the stillness. So I take that chute. It springs me through the trees. When I come out on the other side, what I don't realize is that there's another skier, and we collide. I went headfirst into a tree at high speeds, and from that moment on, my life took a drastic turn. I went headfirst into a tree and broke my T4 through T9 vertebrae in my back. Now, that is your thoracic spine, being your mid-back. So if I were to look through my chest on the backside, that's where I broke it. So I am a complete injury paraplegic, meaning I have no feeling and no function below my nipple line. You know, it's amazing. A lot of people have asked, what's that first moment like? When you try to get up and it just doesn't work. And it's scary. Very, very scary. You know, for a moment there, you think, why me? Like, is this really happening? And in that moment, I just called out to God. Like, God, I don't know what you got going on here. I don't know what just happened, but be with me now. And the only way I can describe what happened after that was an overwhelming peace hit me like a wave. And I can tell you very confidently here today that I have not worried about my future one time since being on the mountain on December 27th of 2019. Not once. And that I think can only come from prayer. But we'll get a little bit more into that later. I broke my T4 through T9. I was airlifted off the mountain. I went to Frisco, Colorado, where I had my initial imaging done. It was too foggy that day, so I had to get bused from Frisco to Lakeland, Colorado, a suburb of Denver, where I went through a 8-hour surgery to repair my spine. I say repair, but it was more of a cleanup because my spine was shattered. They had to repair some spinal leakage fluid, as well as remove all the broken pieces of my spine. I have 2 big rods and a lot of screws holding my back together. I spent 9 days at St. Anthony's in Lakeland before I got transferred to Craig Hospital in Englewood, Colorado, another suburb, where I spent 2 months of rehab. Craig is one of the top facilities in the world when it comes to spinal cord injuries as well as traumatic brain injuries. And so that's where I learned how to do life again. And the experiences that I had in Craig not only allowed me to physically get better, but it also allowed me to mentally pick up on a few things and a mindset that will carry me through the rest of my life. And that's something that I want to talk about here tonight. You know, anytime I speak around the region or really about my story, I always bring up my nurse, Jennifer. She was awesome, first off. She's an awesome lady. But she was so impactful on me. And one morning, I was listening to Living Hope by Phil Wickham. And she came in and she says, "Oh, I love this song." I said, "Oh, are you a Christian?" And she said, yeah, I am. And she told me her story about how she had gone through a coma. She was in a coma for a month, folks, a month. Came out on the other side, no problems. She said, I have so much love for the Lord. And I said, "Man, that's so cool, Jennifer." She said, "Hunter, I no longer look at life like it's a glass half full or a glass half empty. I'm just glad that I have a glass." And that morning, my mindset completely changed. I'm just glad that I have a glass. I'm just glad that I have an opportunity today. The gratefulness to look around and reflect on your life and say, I'm still here. Because every day going forward for me is a day that could have been taken away up on the mountain. Gratefulness is one of the pillars in which I build my life on. I'm grateful for a lot of things. I mean, I got a great family. I always say I have the best family in the world, as hopefully a lot of you probably think the same thing. I have the best family. I'm grateful that, you know, the Lord gave me athletic abilities that allowed me to compete, follow my passion, play the sports that I love, and meet the people that I so deeply care for. But once you get to Craig, you become grateful for even more. You look at your hands, you become pretty grateful. I can move them. Some people can't. I'm looking at this camera right now. I can see that it's a camera. I'm looking in this building, I can see these lights. I can reason, I can comprehend. Some people can't. And suddenly, gratefulness takes on even a deeper meaning. I went on a date with death up on a mountain slope and came back from it. And life suddenly became even that more precious. See, when you get to Craig, you think you got it pretty tough. Division I athlete, and now I can't walk. Let's be honest, like, that feeling sucks. I'm never gonna catch another pass. I'm never gonna strap on the pads, but like, why? You know, thoughts creep into your mind of, am I ever gonna get to walk my daughter down the aisle? You think, why me? And then you look around and you see what others are going through. You see my neighbor who's driving home from work after picking up her son, gets hit by a car, and in a matter of seconds is a quadriplegic trying to raise a 12-year-old son. Or how about the dad of a newborn baby boy that at work a steel pipe comes, hits him in the head, and now he has impaired vision. His balance is off. How about my good friend at Craig that one day is a perfectly normal college student, 36 hours later is fully paralyzed from her neck to her toe with an infection of the spinal cord. And you look around and you think, pretty grateful for what I have. Suddenly, my injury and my circumstances aren't so bad anymore. I still had a glass. I'm still here. I still have a choice. And so do you. If you're listening to this tonight, you're still breathing. You still have a choice. And you have power in you that I don't even think you know. Tonight, I'm going to dare you to step out. Step out of your comfort zone. Step out of the depression you're in. Step out of the sadness and realize the joy that comes with life. The joy that comes with having a choice. Because it says in Psalms, it says, "For this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it." It doesn't say tomorrow. It doesn't say yesterday. It says right now. This. This is the day. So you better believe I'm going to rejoice in it. Because I still got a glass. You know, I got lucky. My time at Craig Hospital was right before the pandemic started to hit. I was there from January through March. And so I actually flew back to North Dakota like the week that everything started shutting down. I feel for all my Class B teams that they qualify for the state tournament and then they don't get to play it. That was right when I was coming home. That would have broken my heart, by the way, to not be able to compete at state. But I was really lucky that I was able to be at Craig before the pandemic really hit hard. There was a running joke at Craig of who was going to be in Hunter's cheering section that day. I always had somebody there. Like, I was so lucky, you guys, so fortunate that my family, I have a big family, but my family was always there. My friends came down. They were there. I had teammates there. Bubba came down. So I had coaches there. I mean, the joke was like, all right, who's the people in your section today? We haven't seen them before. And so that was really fun. But not only was it fun, it was needed. I would go through my day and I would always have somebody there to support me. I'd get done with the day and my phone would be full of texts. I'd have a couple voicemails. I'd have people saying, "Hey, can you give me a call when you can. Love to talk." You know, my wall was filled with pictures that were sent. My counter was covered with letters. My heart was filled with a peace that can only come, like I said, from prayer. You know, that support in the moment, it felt really good. But as I look back, it was more than just feeling good. It was what I needed, because those were tough days. I tore every muscle in my shoulder, and I couldn't get around like I can today. I had to be lifted in a sling. You know, I have no control over my bladder. I have to time everything out now. There was a lot of moments where I'd lose control. You have to humble yourself, right? Because you realize that I couldn't do it by myself. I needed help. And here comes the overwhelming grace of God. Here comes Grand Forks. Here comes Mayville. Here comes Larimore. Here comes Thompson. Here comes Grafton. Here comes Steele. Here comes Annetta. Here comes Napoleon. Here comes Strasburg. Here comes Wishick. Here comes this state. It swoops me up. Here comes you to be my step when I couldn't step by myself. And for that, I am very grateful. You know, you get so much support from this community and this region. You soon realize that my cup is not bare. It's full. I still have a glass, yes, and I have so many people pouring into it. It would be selfish for me not to let it overflow. It'd be selfish of me not to share it with others. Because a lot of people I was around, you see, they didn't have the wall full of pictures. Their counters were bare. They didn't have the letters that I was getting. Their bank account was not being flooded with donations. No, rather, they were being drowned in their emotions of sadness and depression, fear, heartache. The least I could do, the least, is give a little encouragement. The least I could do is share some kindness. It says in the book of Luke, to whom much was given, much will be required. The past 10 months I've been given a lot. Friends, we are called to help those that are struggling, just as you all helped me in my time of struggle. And we have a perfect example when it comes to Jesus. You know, Jesus, perfect being, fully man, fully God, comes down to this earth to take away sin from you and from me. But he doesn't make a bargain. You know, today a lot of times it's, all right, I'll give you this, but under these circumstances. Jesus comes down to earth and there's no buts. It's, I'm giving this to you freely. He did not ignore the weary. He did not forget about the homeless. He did not condemn the men and the women for the mistakes that they had made. No, Jesus sought them out. He went after them. He helped the hurting. He saved the struggling. And he rescued the ones that had hit rock bottom. Does this sound familiar? It should, because the organization that we're celebrating here tonight does this on a daily basis. Last year alone, I'm going to read off some statistics to you that are mind-blowing. Last year alone, 500 people came to the Northland Rescue Mission to get a roof over their head when they wouldn't have had one otherwise. Last year alone, 15,000 nights, someone got a warm night's sleep with a pillow and a blanket where they wouldn't have had one otherwise. 4,600 meals served, 1,600 boxes of food sent home with families, 27,300 backpack meals sent home with children. I want to talk about difference makers. This is one right here. So you'll have the chance tonight to be a difference maker. You'll have the chance tonight to be the shoulder that can be leaned on by someone that can't stand by themselves. You have the chance tonight to be the defining difference in a child's upbringing. You have the chance tonight to be the hands and the feet of Jesus. See, the nurse at Craig, Jennifer, what she told me about having a glass and not looking at life, whether it be half full or half empty, just being grateful you have a glass, yes, she was absolutely right. We absolutely should be grateful for what we have. But that's only the first part of this puzzle. Once we realize we have a glass, it's not good enough to not do anything. There are people in this world, there are people in this country, there are people in this state, this region, this community that are hurting, that are broken. And I was one of them. And this community scooped me up and helped me when I needed it most. The only way that some of these people in our community, in our region, are going to realize that they have a glass is if we pour a little of our water in theirs and let them catch it. So I'm asking you tonight, what are you grateful for? I'm grateful for a lot of things. One of the things at the top of my list is to be from this place. I'm a small town kid from Wishick. But I was born and bred North Dakotan. I'm a product of the upper Midwest where people are loyal, people are kind. And I'm grateful to have a Savior that came down and there were no ifs, ands, and buts. He came down for me. He came down for you. And He showed grace upon us. How are we going to fill somebody's cup today? How are we going to be the hands and the feet of Jesus? Again, I want to thank you for this opportunity to share. I'm so grateful, man. That word comes up a lot, but so grateful for your support in the past 10 months since I took a little tumble on a mountain. And a lot of people ask, Hunter, would you go back to that day? Would you switch it all around if you could? And I tell them, why would I mess with God's plan? Nah, just watch. Again, this has been an honor for me to be able to share with you, wherever you may be coming from, in your living room, in your kitchen, bedroom, wherever it is. It's been an honor. And I'm so grateful for you tuning in tonight. I'm grateful for this organization to allow me to speak. So with that, I'll we'll let the show go on. But thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Hunter. Right now, there aren't even words to express beyond what Hunter said. We all go through struggles, some of them not even close to what Hunter has gone through. But each of us walk our own walk. Each of us make our own mistakes. Each of us needs somebody else who's being a positive encourager along the sidelines of whatever our race may be, to say, come on, you can do it. Or let me walk beside you and I'll just kind of help you along the way. I can't run your race for you, but I can be here by your side. Just like he talked about all those people who were in the stands, all those people who came to support him. Sometimes it feels pretty lonely for our clients, like they've made so many mistakes and so many messes that nobody cares and nobody is there, and shame is a big part of how people feel when they enter the mission. But I can tell you, when people leave the mission, those glasses, they know they have a glass. And that glass has hope in it. And the restoration of that hope is what we do. And so we ask tonight that you would join us, that you would think about what you heard tonight, take it to heart. It's Thanksgiving coming up, and we have so many things we're thankful for. And our clients are thankful for all that you have done to help them, for all the donations you have provided. That means that there's a place where they can go to get life back, to have hope restored. If you can join us tonight, whether you be donating online tonight, whether you send a check in the mail, whether you go onto the website and make a donation, whether you purchase items for the backpack program, certainly when you keep us in prayer, because even if you can't find the finances to help, God will find a way, and we appreciate all your prayers. And maybe you're cleaning out your closets and find stuff that can go into somebody else's home as they start that new adventure with that glass. We thank you for what you can do. We pray for you. We hope you are safe, and many prayers and many thanks for all you have done. And we hope you just have a wonderful and blessed Thanksgiving. And Matt is going to end the evening for us before we go to your last hour of bidding, to tell us how we can get those items that we have won our bid on, and to just let you know what future events we have coming up, because that piece of keeping money coming in the door and keeping the door open doesn't end today. It's an ongoing thing. And this is really about bringing more people to the table. How to get those stands filled with people who, when some of our clients pass on or can no longer afford to do the donating that they have been doing, that others will pick up the torch and carry on. And so we're about finding new ways to engage people and new ways to bring you along on the journey with our clients. So Matt, will you share with us what those updates are and ways that people can participate?
Absolutely. So I'll start off with how you can go about paying and picking up items for the auction, and then we'll get to some save the dates. But it's about 9:05 here, so that gives you about 55 minutes left to do some last minute bids. Any of you veteran auction bidders out there know this is the most important hour where you can sneak in your last minute winning bids. So at about 9:50, you'll see a timer start going down on the auction site. That'll count down. As soon as that hits 0, Whoever's got the top bids on every item, that'll be your winning bid. So those winning bids will go onto an invoice on the auction site for you. And then you have a couple options as far as payment goes. So you can either pay right on the auction site with credit or debit card.